welcome back to Cuckoo for Books. My name is Salva and today I'm going to be doing a book review on What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. By the time this video comes up, I will probably be in line for their signing, so I thought the day of their signing would be an appropriate day for my first review for either author. This is my first book from either Becky or Adam, and I'm pleased to say that I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna stick to non-spoilers because I think the beauty of this novel is not so much in the little things, but in the overall message and the overall tone of the story. There's not a lot of spoilery aspects I want to get into too much either, so that's why I don't feel the need to call on the spoiler train. So if you're watching this, you can take a big sigh of relief because no spoilers will be mentioned for this review. A short summary of the book: it is a story about two guys, Ben Alejo and Arthur Seuss. Ben is the typical, feels like he doesn't deserve love, so he doesn't put as much effort because he thinks he's not gonna get any in return. On the opposite side, you've got Arthur, the super optimistic. He thinks life is a Broadway musical. He's never been in love, he's never had a relationship, and the two embark on this relationship. This is my first LGBT YA novel wherein the romance between both LGBT characters is the sole focus of the book. This was another book for the first time in a really long time where I would read it right before going to bed. I would just be in bed like, okay, 20 more pages. Okay, at the end of this chapter. Okay, one more chapter. Okay, I just need to know what happens next. And then I check my clock and I'm like, oops, it's 1 a.m. But before I get into what I really loved about the book, I'm just gonna, I guess, make a comment about what I didn't love so much about the book. So this book is very insta-love, but I wouldn't say that if you are not a fan of insta-love to not read this book right away. Personally, I am not a fan of insta-love. I think there's a certain magic in this book that makes you see past that, because I was about 100 pages in when I was like, hold on. They met at the post office and went through this whole ordeal just to find each other after meeting each other once. Where are they basing this relationship and desire off of? Just seeing each other for like 20 seconds? It sneaks up on you. By the time you realize, like, hold on, you just suckered me into this whole relationship and now I'm too invested to judge it. Without giving any spoilers away, 3/4 of the way through, there is a big shift in tone that wasn't handled as well as it could have been. The beginning of the book had this very optimistic, fairy tale-like aspect, but then as the book ended, it abruptly shifts tone. I think I knew what they were trying to do, and that love stories have this magnificent rose-colored filter at the beginning, but eventually as the relationship goes on, you face problems. And I do understand that that's what the authors were trying to do, but I thought that the transition could have been handled a little better. I think it was a bit too abrupt for my taste. The last little problem I had with this book is also one of the things I really love about this book. So I thought they did a good job subverting usual YA tropes or YA mistakes done by other authors, and at the same time I think they pushed it too hard trying to fix it that it went into overkill. But that's just me. I could be wrong because I'm not a teenager anymore. Maybe that is how teenagers talk. So one of the biggest problems I know in YA and YA contemporary, a lot of people complain that the teenagers in the books do not talk like teenagers at all. Their interests are weirdly archaic. Why are they so profound for a bunch of 16-year-olds? What I loved about What If It's Us and Ben and Arthur is that they are teenagers at heart. They talk like teenagers. They have the maturity of teenagers. Their interests were very on point. They read books that teens are supposed to read. They listen to music teens are supposed to listen to. Ben is into The Killers and fantasy novels and The Sims and Super Smash Brothers, and Arthur's into Hamilton and Broadway. Sometimes I did feel like it was a little bit overkill. Like, okay, we get it, you guys use emojis for your text. You don't have to do 3 pages full of emojis. Yes, we get it. Arthur likes Hamilton. Arthur is obsessed with Hamilton. We get the references to Hamilton. There were times when I felt, okay, that's a bit too much. We get it. Y'all are cool, y'all are hip, y'all love Hamilton, y'all are down with the youths. I get it. We're good. That's me really nitpicking about this novel. For the most part, I did really enjoy this novel, so I'm gonna talk about what I liked about the book next. Going off of the whole teenage point of view, I really loved just how pure and innocent this novel was. It really reminds you of high school. If you're a cynic, you're probably not gonna like this book because you're gonna say, why are their problems so tiny? Oh my god, he didn't text me back. Oh, I'm too embarrassed to tell the guy I like I'm in summer school. But when I was reading it, I did love the innocence and the purity. It was like a huge flashback to high school days when you're like, your biggest problem is the guy didn't text you back and you're too shy to respond. Even though you knew their problems were very high school, it didn't seem immature. Instead, it seemed very nostalgic. It's one of those books that I can imagine movie critics would be like, takes you right back to your childhood and that first summer love. Off the top of my head, I would compare this book to Little Manhattan. It's the cutest first love film. It stars a baby Josh Hutcherson, and it reminded me so much of this book. The characters are so full of hope and wonderful, and they don't believe in long distance relationships because you don't believe in long distance relationships when you're a teenager. They're just adorable. In the days where teen romances, or where first dates have to be this grand big thing, look, I made a surprise for you. I bought a plane and it's skywriting our names in the sky. A marching band is playing our theme song. Like, in today's day and age of those big grand gestures in YA, this book just has, where do you want to go on a date? The arcade. Let's go to a street vendor and grab food. Churros. You know, those good old days when we were all teenagers and young love and Cupid striking our hearts for the very first time. I really loved how this book reminded me of that. Also, I liked how there was a fully fleshed out set of side characters. My personal favorite side character is, of course, Dylan. He is Ben's best friend, and he doesn't care a smidge that his best friend is gay. I just really loved the way he was portrayed. I know I said before that the authors really portrayed teenagers very realistically in this novel, but I think Dylan is the epitome of teen portrayal in this book. He is, to a T, exactly how I would imagine a teenage boy living in New York to act like. He reminds me so much of my best guy friend. I'm not gonna like drop bombs on my best guy friend, but Dylan has a specific quality that, again, I'm not gonna spoil, and I'm not gonna say either because I don't want to trash my best guy friend, but they share this similar quality that's on point. So obviously it endeared his character to me even more. In the end, I would highly recommend this book. If you know, like me, I've been drowning myself in gore and violence and dark and gore kinds of books. If you're looking for a breather from all of that and you just want something light and quick, if you want to be reminded of that Grease kind of love and High School Musical kind of love where everything's, you know, nice and simple and adulting isn't kicking your butt, read this book. And that about does it for my What If It's Us book review. You can follow me on my other bookish adventures on Twitter and Instagram at Cuckoo for Books. Please subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon. And if you are at the signing today while this video is going live, then come say hi. Bye, guys.